You don't need to pay a lawyer. You don't need to pay an agent to do something you can do your damn self.
Yep.
Use your head. No matter what level you're at. If you're in college, you have access to everything. So much knowledge is at your footsteps. What about my love? Now let's talk about the Ravens and, Lamar Jackson, another quarterback that's been out in the news. My question is, can Lamar Jackson carry this Ravens team into the playoffs and beyond? We all know Lamar Jackson's up for a contract. This season, there's been some turmoil in the offseason. There's been a lot of doubt on Lamar Jackson. They gave away his number one receiver in Hollywood Brown. We all know he still has Mark Andrews, but again, he was still doubted. He hasn't had much in the receiving core. He came back, I believe, 20 pounds heavier, 30, just straight muscle. Lamar Jackson came in like a beast because he knew he was going to have a punishing season ahead of him. He doesn't have an agent, so he goes into contract negotiations by himself. Teams do not like that. Agencies do not like that across the NFL because they don't want anyone to know that a player can structure their own contract by themselves. They don't want the middleman cut out. So there's so much going against Lamar Jackson this year. So he took it upon himself to bet on himself. He's been playing decent. He had up and down. Last week was a down. Ending the game with an interception, like I said. But let's take a look at Lamar Jackson going forward. Do we honestly think that he can carry this Ravens team, the way it is right now, into the playoffs, carry them deep, or even into the future? I'll start off with you, Dante.
Sorry, my dog came in. I had to kick her out.
Oh.
Sorry, Cassie. But you're messing up the show. Can Lamar carry the Ravens to the playoffs and earn a contract? Interesting question, Vic. I think you cannot count Lamar Jackson out regardless of how much their struggles have been. Every time we count this dude out, he comes back. On a down year, they still, did their thing. John Harbaugh is the other one that you have to consider when you ask this question. Can John Harbaugh carry the Ravens is really the question here. Because all of this is dependent on his play call. And a lot of these decisions that were made at the end of games, and we've seen it time and time before, is because of John Harbaugh cannot coach. Cannot coach in critical times. I think he's one of the, right now, modern coaches that is a great coach. Anybody would be a fool not to sign up to the team if he was to be let go from the Ravens. Lions. You know what I'm saying? I love Dan Campbell, but imagine John Harbaugh with the Lions right now and all the weapons that they got. They would be winners right now. They would be winners.
Winning.
I'm not talking about winning in spirit. I'm talking about winning as far as your record. Dan Campbell is the winning of every spirit out there. But I'm sorry, sir. Just like all the other Lions coaches that we've heard time and time before, you have not won as far as a record. Can he earn a contract? Another interesting follow-up question to this. I think no. And here's the reason why. He's not going to be able to do it this year. The performances that he's given has solely been on, sometimes you could blame Lamar Jackson. You could place all the blame on Lamar Jackson at the end of the games by how he's playing. Do I think that's fair? No. It's winning and losses don't come down to one player every single time. Even though the media wants you to believe so, it's a team sport. Yeah, they have to play 60 minutes of football, and it's not all on just one player. Could he have made some critical throws or made some critical plays? Absolutely. But Lamar's too much of a liability to be paying any type of extraordinary money to because of the way that he plays. He's not built like Josh Allen. He's one play away from breaking his whole leg and being out for the season. We don't wish injuries on anybody, but if you're looking at it realistically, who would you rather you want to take a hit right now that plays backyard football? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson? You would choose Josh Allen number 1, Patrick Mahomes number 2, and Lamar Jackson number 3 because you know what? Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are built players. They can take hits. Patrick Mahomes is a freaking cyborg, man.
Hold on. I would dispute that. I put Mahomes at 3 because Mahomes doesn't get hit. And when he does, he stays down a little bit. He
recovers fast.
He's a little pretty.
We have seen Mahomes been injured though. We have seen him out for a couple.
Yeah, I think if someone gives a solid shot that they would give Lamar Jackson, I don't think Mahomes will come up real fast. He might come up wincing.
That's true. Lamar Jackson does. We've seen him play running back this week. I think he's auditioning for running back after all this time. They're trying to audition him for running back because the running backs keep getting hurt.
Yep.
J.K. Dobbins was. Damn it, he's on my fantasy team.
Hey, and he's the 5th leading rusher in the league.
That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, Dante, you've not had. By the way, I'd like to say you've not had good luck with running backs because you had J.K. Dobbins and you also had Jamal Williams.
I should have
Or
pulled
not
the
Jamal,
strategy I
Javonte.
had last year. I had Aaron Jones and Nick Chubb.
You also
Nick
had
Chubb was Aaron Jones, not so much. I got him.
you also had Javonte Williams. So running backs have not been kind to you.
You're a curse.
And I mean, do we need to bring up the James Robinson thing?
Don, answer the question, please.
I'm about to never be invited back on the show.
Oh gosh. But yeah, I was going to say, just in reference to Lamar Jackson, you got to think about it this way too. Especially with quarterbacks, there is an escalating level. So someone with his talent, you got the MVP, he's been to the playoffs, possibly been close to the Super Bowl. He's going to command a certain amount. So can he be the highest paid quarterback also? Because that's what he's gunning for. He's gunning for the highest.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, with the first question about carrying the Ravens to the playoffs, he's going to do everything he can. That's just the player he is. And he'll put the whole team on his back if he has to. We've seen that with injuries and everything else. He's going to try to do his best, but I don't think this team, the way it's constructed right now with the players that they have, and in certain coaching situations, like was said earlier, I don't think this is a beyond first-round playoff team if they make it that far. That's it. As far as earning a contract, I don't think he's going to get what he wants. Some people might say it's what he deserves, but I mean, he'll get paid, but he's not going to get paid what he wants. It's just you got to find the right team that wants that type of quarterback that has the need, and all the pieces of the puzzle have to fit just right for him to get paid. And there's just a handful of them out there that are going to be willing to do that.
Ooh. I had one in mind, but I'll keep it to myself for now because Dante just mentioned their coach. Papa, what do you think?
I mean, Ravens might be able to make it to the playoffs. I don't know if it'll be much of Lamar. I mean, I've said it countless times. The Ravens have become the new Falcons. It's been choke after choke after choke. The Ravens, realistically, if they did not choke those games, they're undefeated. I mean, you can say that about any of those, but all three of their losses are the chokes that they did. They should be undefeated at this point with the Eagles.
Yep.
But they're not. Lamar Jackson, he came out, everybody's like, right now he's front runner MVP. No question about it, front runner. Now it's kind of like, I mean, is he still in the conversation for MVP?
Same with Jalen Hurts. The people that we see this every single year. How many years in a row have we seen it with Russell Wilson? Ooh, he's in MVP contention. Week 5, week 6, week 7 look very bleak.
Yeah.
But so I mean, there goes, or not there goes. You have all that, and again, I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a smart dude, but leave the contract stuff to your agent. Go get a flippin' agent, bro. Focus. I don't even want to say focus on football, because that makes it seem like he's a bad player. He's not. He's a good player. But focus on football. Because right now, you focusing on your contract is going to hurt you more than it's going to help you. Because every bad game you have is going to take money off. Every good game you have is going to add money. So that's great. But eventually, you're just not going to be able to come to terms with yourself and with your general manager. And that is why I personally think after this year, Lamar is no longer going to be a Raven.
Ooh, jeez.
That's rough. But I want to just rebuttal on what you were saying in reference to Lamar and focusing on his contract. I think what he's doing is great. Cut out the middleman. There is no need for agents. Why are you giving 10% to someone that literally just sits down with an owner that he already has a relationship with, that they already have contract terms set in mind already? They're not there for your best interest. They're there for their own best interest. And that's one of the reasons why the NFL don't like what Lamar Jackson's doing. But I think that one thing Lamar Jackson, what he is doing, should put attention to players that are out there now in college and high school. When you go to college, yeah, you want to go to the NFL, focus on that, but also you're at school. Pick up a degree, say in marketing, say be a sports agent. Learn how the business works so that way when you enter the league, you don't need to pay a lawyer. You don't need to pay an agent to do something. You can do your damn self. Use your head. No matter what level you're at. If you're in college, you have access to everything. So much knowledge is at your footsteps. At your foot. So just take advantage of it. Those college players out there, those high school players, if you're listening to this, like I said, study on economics, study on sports agency, study on the business so that when you go in, there's no owner that can tell you, oh, well, I think you do. No. I know what the market rate is. I know what I command. I know what I deserve. These are my terms. The NFL would totally change. And that's not what they want. But I think Lamar Jackson and doing what he's doing is the first step. And it's a good step.